Welcome back to your favorite corner of Reddit where tales twist, turn, and sometimes terrify. But wait, there's something new around here.
Meet Steve, your new guide through the wild world of stories. So sit back, hit that follow button, and let's jump into today's tale.
28F, have been with my boyfriend, 30M, for 5 years and living together for 3. We've had our ups and downs like any couple, but for the most part, things have been solid. Or at least, I thought they were, until his brother got married. I don't usually write things like this, but I honestly feel like I'm going crazy. Like maybe I'm overreacting. Or maybe I've just been ignoring what's right in front of me. His brother, 33M, got married last year to a woman named Lily, 31F. She's stunning, effortlessly beautiful, charming, the kind of woman who walks into a room and makes everyone a little quieter without even trying. And since the wedding, my boyfriend hasn't shut up about her. At first, I didn't think anything of it. I actually liked Lily. She was nice to me, easy to talk to, and I was genuinely happy for his brother. But the way my boyfriend talks about her, it's different. Too familiar. Too admiring. He'll say stuff like, "Lily would love this show. Her taste is so refined. You should ask Lily where she gets her perfume. It always smells amazing. Lily made the most incredible charcuterie board at their housewarming. You should have taken notes." It's constant. He compares me to her, sometimes directly, sometimes subtly, and always in a way that makes me feel like I'm coming up short. He brings her up in conversations that have nothing to do with her. And when we're all together, I can tell he's watching her. Not just looking, watching, like he's studying her. The worst part is, I don't think she notices. Or maybe she does, and doesn't want to make it awkward. I've caught him smiling at her from across the room, then pretending he was looking at something else when I noticed. I've heard him laugh at jokes she's made that weren't even funny, the kind of laugh he rarely gives me anymore. I confronted him once, during a low-key night-in. I said, "Do you realize how much you talk about Lily?" He laughed and said, "She's my sister-in-law, not a celebrity crush. You're being dramatic." Then he changed the subject. I let it go, for a while. But 2 nights ago, everything changed. He was in the shower, and I picked up his iPad to check a recipe I'd saved. I wasn't snooping, at least not at first, but his messages were open. And there was a thread with Lily. A long one. I didn't mean to read it. I really didn't. But one line stopped me cold. I sometimes wonder if things would have been different if we'd met first. I froze, and then I kept reading.
Okay, wow. Hold on. This is not good. So, she actually found the messages. Not just a feeling anymore. Not just a vibe. Real proof, or at least something that feels like it. You see, for a lot of wives, or honestly, anyone in a committed relationship, it's not just about catching someone cheating. It's about the risk of being wrong, of damaging trust, of being seen as paranoid, insecure, or even controlling. There's this psychological tug-of-war that happens. On one hand, your gut is screaming, something's off. But on the other, your heart whispers, don't jump to conclusions. What if it's nothing? Because if she's wrong, if she accuses him and it turns out innocent, she might not just lose trust. She might lose everything. That's the trap. That fear of overreacting keeps a lot of people silent longer than they should be. But now that she's seen the messages, silence may not be an option anymore. So, what would you do if you were her? All right, let's get back into it. Things are about to get real.
My heart dropped into my stomach. I reread that one line at least 5 times, hoping I was misunderstanding it. I sometimes wonder if things would have been different if we'd met first. What the hell was that supposed to mean? I kept scrolling, even though every part of me was screaming to stop. The conversation wasn't outright flirty. No, I love you. No sexting, nothing that could get him caught in a screenshot. But it was intimate. Way more intimate than you'd expect between a man and his brother's wife. There were messages like, "You're the only one who really gets me." Sometimes I feel like I can't even talk to her without starting a fight. "You have such a calming energy." It's honestly addictive. Addictive. I felt sick. Then there was one where she said, "Careful, you're going to make me blush. Your brother is literally in the next room, LOL." He replied, "Then don't let him read," over your shoulder, smirking face. That stupid emoji. That smug little wink. That's when I knew This wasn't harmless. This wasn't some innocent friendship. This was emotional cheating, plain and simple. Worse, it's been going on for months. The message history stretched back to before their wedding. Before I ever noticed anything was weird. There were even late-night messages, one sent at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., while I was sleeping next to him. I put the iPad down like it had burned me. When he came out of the shower, I was sitting at the kitchen table. I must have looked pale because he immediately asked, "Are you okay?" I didn't answer right away. I just said, "Do you want to tell me anything about Lily?" His face changed. Not guilty, defensive. That told me everything I needed to know. He blinked. "What are you talking about?" I kept my eyes on him. "Your messages." I saw them. His face didn't go pale. He didn't stumble over his words. He just froze, like someone hit pause on a movie. Then, quietly, he said, "You went through my messages?" I laughed, actually laughed, but there was nothing funny about it. "You're seriously going to make this about that?" He ran a hand through his hair and sat down across from me. "Okay, look, it's not what it looks like." Classic. I almost said it out loud, but I just stared at him. Let him dig the hole. I talk to her, yeah. We vent. She vents about my brother. I vent about us. It's just easier sometimes to talk to someone who's outside of it. Outside of it. She's literally your brother's wife, not a therapist. I said, "You told her you wonder what would have happened if you'd met her first." He looked down at the table, silent. "Do you love her?" I asked. Still no answer. That was all I needed. "You know what's worse than you wanting her?" I said, "It's the fact that she clearly wants you back, and neither of you had the decency to shut it down." That's when he finally said something. "I never meant for it to go there." "Oh, so it did go there." "I was just confused," he added. "I love you, but it's complicated." "Not anymore," I said. I got up, walked to the bedroom, and started packing a bag. I didn't care where I was going. I just knew I couldn't sleep next to him that night. He didn't follow me. He just sat there, staring into the distance, like the victim in all this.
Let's talk about this for a second. When someone says, "I didn't mean for it to go that far," what they're really saying is, "Yeah, I knew it was wrong, but I kept going anyway until I got caught or it got too real." That line, it's a classic. It's not a denial. It's not accountability. It's an admission of impulse over intention. Like cheating just sort of happened? Come on. This is what's called minimizing. It's a defense mechanism. People downplay the damage because they're trying to protect themselves from the full weight of what they've done. But for the person who's been betrayed as girlfriend, in this case, those words sting. You know what's even harder? She might still love him. A lot. And part of her might want to believe him. Because walking away isn't just about leaving someone. It's about leaving behind the life you built. The version of the person you thought you knew.
I knew I couldn't just sit there and wait for him to explain himself or decide what he wanted. If this was really happening, if they were really doing this behind everyone's backs, I needed to hear it from Lily too. So the next day, I messaged Lily. I wasn't proud of it, but I couldn't let it go. "Hey Lily, can we talk? I think we need to clear the air about what's going on between you and my husband." She replied almost immediately. "Sure, what's up?" I was shaking as I typed back. "I saw some messages between you two. Things that don't sit right with me." There was a pause. Then, "Look, I'm sorry you had to find out this way. I didn't want to hurt anyone, but it just happened." I stare at my phone. It was like a slap in the face. I pushed, needing more. "What do you mean? Was it mutual? Was he the one who started it?" Her response was slow to come. "It was both of us. We never planned it. But yes, he was the one who reached out first." I tried to resist, but after a while, she stopped typing. Then, "I love my husband. I really do. But with him, it felt different. More honest, somehow. That hit me harder than I expected." I asked, "So what now? What are you going to do?" "I don't know," she admitted. "I want to be loyal to his brother, but I can't lie about how I feel. This isn't fair to anyone." I felt my chest tighten. This wasn't just some fling. It was a slow-burning mess that could tear their whole family apart. I typed one last message before putting my phone down. "Thanks for being honest." I needed to hear it. After my conversation with Lily, I knew I couldn't stay silent anymore. This wasn't just about me and my boyfriend anymore. It was bigger. It was about a family falling apart. I debated for hours, pacing my apartment, weighing every possible outcome. But in the end, I made the call. I messaged his brother. "Hey, can we talk?" There's something important you need to know about your brother and Lily. He replied quickly, probably sensing the urgency. Sure. What's going on? I didn't want to sugarcoat it. They've been having an emotional affair. It's been going on since before your wedding. There was a long silence. Then, I don't believe you. I sighed, expecting the denial. I have proof. Messages, conversations. I'm sorry to bring this up like this, but you deserve to know. He didn't respond for a few minutes. When he finally did, his words broke my heart. I can't believe this. My own brother? And Lily? I need some time. I waited and waited. A few days later, I got a message from his brother. He sounded exhausted, like someone carrying the weight of the world. We had a huge fight. It's worse than I thought. Lily admitted everything, and his brother finally broke down too. It's like the family's tearing itself apart. He said they weren't speaking, and neither was he talking to my boyfriend. The silence between them was thick enough to choke on. Then came the hardest part. My boyfriend reached out to me. He said he was sorry, that he'd made a terrible mistake, and that he loved me, but couldn't fix this mess alone. He asked for space, time to figure himself out. I wanted to scream, to cry, to beg him to choose. But I didn't, because I realized this wasn't just about us anymore. This was about broken trust, shattered families, and the kind of pain that doesn't just go away. I'm still here, still trying to make sense of it all. And honestly, I don't know what happens next. After everything, the lies, the betrayal, the family falling apart, I knew I couldn't stay. Not with someone who could look me in the eye and choose someone else. Not with someone who let this happen for months without telling me. I packed the rest of my things. Before I left, I looked at him one last time and said, I loved you, but love isn't supposed to hurt this much. I'm done waiting for you to figure out what you want, because it's not me. He tried to say something, but I didn't let him. I walked out the door, feeling more broken than ever, but finally free. Some things can't be fixed, and some people can't be saved. And I'm done trying to save a love that's already dead.
Hello, everyone. This is a story. When someone cheats or crosses that line, the relationship changes forever. Trust is shattered, and sometimes there's no coming back. Breakups like this, they hurt like hell. It's not just losing someone you love. It's losing the future you imagine with them. All those planned, inside jokes, dreams, they feel like they vanish overnight. Here's the truth. Catching someone cheating, no matter how messy, is a painful wake-up call. It forces you to ask, what do I really want? What am I willing to accept? And sometimes the answer is walking away. Thanks for sticking with me through this one. If you've ever been through something similar or just love a good story with all its messy emotions, hit that follow and stay tuned. I've got plenty more where this came from. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.